car door slammed shut, plunging the back seat into near darkness. The man who wasn't David turned to her, his polite demeanor gone, replaced by a cold, hard stare. She wasn't being taken to a romantic reunion. She was being taken against her will. This was a terrifying moment. Carolyn, a successful architect from Chicago, realized the man she loved was a ghost, a carefully constructed lie designed for one purpose: to bring her here, to this remote building, where she was cornered, intimidated, and threatened until every last cent from her life's work was gone. After they had drained everything, her captors drove her for hours and left her on the side of the road, injured and penniless in a country where she knew no one. My name is James Smith. After witnessing how professional predators destroy innocent lives across America, I decided to fight back. This channel is a collection of thousands of real cases, hidden tactics, and voices of victims who were silenced. I'm here to be your shield in the digital world, because the best way to stop a scammer is to know their next move before they make it. Love is blind. Behind every sweet message is a bitter truth. Let's dive into the dark side of modern romance. For Carolyn, the nightmare began with a simple, flattering message. It wasn't on a dating app. It was a friend request on a social media platform, which made it feel safer, more organic. He called himself David. His profile was a masterclass in deception, precision engineered to attract a woman exactly like her. Successful, stable, and perhaps a little tired of waiting for a partner who matched her own ambition. The photos showed a handsome, salt and pepper-haired man in his early 60s. He was an international civil engineer, his profile dotted with pictures of him in a hard hat on impressive-looking projects in Dubai and Southeast Asia. His words were poetic, his grammar impeccable. From a forensic perspective, the profile was flawless. These criminal syndicates do their homework, combing through your digital life to build a psychological model of your desires. They noticed Carolyn's interest in world travel, her appreciation for architecture, and her posts about her children having left for college. Then came the phase of intense affection. David showered Carolyn with a level of attention that was intoxicating. He sent "Good morning, beautiful" texts the moment she woke up and insisted on long phone calls to hear about her day every evening. He was selling her a fairy tale future, and the down payment was her common sense. He talked of designing their dream home together, of watching sunsets from a porch he would build, of finally giving her the epic love story she deserved. It was a rapid, overwhelming emotional siege designed to bypass logic. In just a few weeks, he wasn't a stranger. He was her primary emotional support, slowly and methodically isolating her from friends and family, without her even noticing. The first operational errors, the red flags, were small. Excited to finally see the man she was falling for, Carolyn pushed for a live video call. But David always had a plausible excuse. The satellite internet on the remote oil rig he was supposedly on was notoriously unreliable for video streaming, or his laptop camera was broken. An excuse that in today's world is about as believable as a dog eating your homework. These are classic deception tactics. From an investigative standpoint, this is the first line of defense. A simple reverse image search on his profile pictures would have revealed they were stolen from the public social media account of a retired German professor who had never even heard of the dating site. But Carolyn was already caught in the emotional current. The connection he'd manufactured was so powerful that her heart overruled her head. She didn't want to find a reason to doubt him. These predators are expert manipulators who prey on the universal human need for connection. It's not about being lonely or naive. It's about being human. They've just gotten terrifyingly good at weaponizing that humanity. Once the foundation of trust is set, the financial test begins. It almost always starts with a small, plausible problem. For Carolyn, it was a supposed customs issue. David claimed he was sending her an expensive birthday gift, a designer watch, but was stuck at the port, and he needed her to pay a small customs fee of a few $100s to release it. He promised to repay her the moment his international banking restrictions were lifted. This is a probe, a simple test to see if the target is willing to send money. Carolyn paid it, and with that, she was on the hook. The emergencies then escalate in a carefully calculated sequence. A sudden medical crisis for a crew member, a critical equipment failure on his project, a payroll shortfall that threatened to shut down the entire operation. Each story was more dramatic than the last, designed to create a sense of frantic urgency. The most devastating scams today are rarely simple pleas for help. They are sophisticated investment frauds. After months of cementing their bond, David unveiled his masterpiece, a once-in-a-lifetime investment opportunity. He claimed his engineering project had unearthed a deposit of rare earth minerals, and he had secured the private rights to it. But he was temporarily short on capital to get the extraction started. He wasn't asking for a gift. He was offering her a partnership in their future. It was the ultimate psychological trigger. He presented Carolyn with professionally forged documents, geological surveys, and complex spreadsheets. He even had his attorney, another member of the criminal syndicate, conduct a three-way call to walk her through the wire transfer process, making it all seem frighteningly legitimate. He asked for her entire retirement. Fueled by visions of shared, luxurious future, Carolyn liquidated her 401k and her investment portfolio, making a series of wire transfers totaling over $1.2 million to various overseas bank accounts. She was falling for one of the costliest scams targeting older adults. According to the FBI, scams targeting individuals over 60 caused over $3.4 billion in losses in 2023 alone, an 11% increase from the prior year. Within that, investment scams were the most financially devastating, accounting for over $1.2 billion in losses for this age group. And that's only what gets reported. With her savings completely drained, the final act of the operation began. David told her the time had come. The deal was done. The profits were ready, and it was time for them to finally be together. He asked her to book a one-way ticket to meet him in a foreign country, where they would collect their fortune and start their new life. Blinded by love and the promise of at last seeing the man she had invested her entire world in, Carolyn booked the ticket. She arrived at the designated 5-star hotel, her heart pounding with excitement. She sat in the lobby, waiting for David. Instead, a different man approached her, introducing himself as David's associate. He explained that David was waiting at a private office to surprise her. He led her to a car, and that is when the true climax of her horror began. While Carolyn's story is a composite that illustrates the extreme physical danger these scams can pose, the emotional and financial ruin is a reality for thousands. The aftermath for victims is a storm of shame and humiliation. This crushing self-blame is why the crime is so vastly underreported. Research from AARP suggests that more than half of romance scam victims, over 50, who lose money never report to authorities. They blame themselves, just as Carolyn initially did. But let's be perfectly clear. The fault lies exclusively with the international criminal organizations that have industrialized the process of breaking hearts for profit. They run these as sophisticated psychological operations. The victims are not foolish. They are intelligent, capable people who were targeted, groomed, and systematically dismantled by professionals. In today's digital world, if you have assets and a desire for connection, you are a target on their radar. So how do you build a fortress around your heart and your finances? First, recognize the red flags. A relationship that moves at lightning speed with intense declarations before you've ever met is a tactical maneuver, not a romance. Second, always verify. Insist on live video calls. If the excuses pile up, that is your answer. Use reverse image search tools on their pictures. A few clicks can unmask a lie. Third, the golden rule: never send money, provide account access, or invest in anything at the direction of someone you have only met online. No matter how heartbreaking the story or how lucrative the opportunity, do not do it. Fourth, break the secrecy. Talk to a trusted friend or family member. An outside perspective is the antidote to the emotional bubble these predators create. If you suspect you or someone you know is being targeted, report it. Contact your local police and file a report with the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center at ic3.gov. You can also find confidential support by calling the AARP Fraud Watch Network helpline. The desire for love is a fundamental part of the human experience. No one should be shamed for seeking it, but we must be fiercely protective in an age where predators are weaponizing that desire. In a world of avatars and algorithms, your intuition is your last, best line of defense. Trust it. The real people whose experiences make up these stories can and do survive. Their courage in sharing these warnings is a powerful act of defiance. Their story is a hard truth, a lesson paid for at an unimaginable price. Don't let it be in vain. Be vigilant. Please share this information. You never know whose life you might save. To stay ahead of these predators, subscribe to the Romance Scam Podcast. Together, we can stay protected.